Hello and welcome to another of our Kids Scoop Media Onlines. Today we have Albert Vera, and we have a lot of great questions from our kids. So I think our first question is coming from Shawn.
How do you keep your customers and employees safe during this time?
So great question. I practice social distancing here in the store. I put markers every 6 feet on the floor. We have an area at the cash register where the customers stand. Anytime we get over 7 people in the store, I have one of my employees close the front door and monitor the back door and let 2 people out and 2 people in. So there's never more than 7 or 8 people in the store at any given time. As far as my employees, I check them every morning with, I have my little thermometer here. I do a laser test on their head and document their temperature. And if any sign of anybody is like a sore throat or whatever, I send them to the doctor immediately, which thank God nobody has ever said they were sick. So I'm doing everything I possibly can. I have hand sanitizer out for my customers. I have Clorox wipes. I wipe the counter down every other customer just to make sure that I practice everything I possibly can to keep myself, my employees, and my customers safe.
What are your most popular items? How have you adjusted the menu because of the coronavirus? And are there some ingredients or products that have been hard to get?
Great, another great question. So I think some of my most popular items are the cannolis, which we make in-house. It's an Italian pastry with ricotta cheese filling. And then I think our hot pastrami sandwich is probably another most really popular item. In terms of adjusting the menu, I had a lot of customers express concern that my vegetarian menu wasn't really that expansive. So I've been trying to create different dishes that are completely vegetarian. So I've created eggplant parmesan. I make vegetarian pasta, things like that, so I can sort of expand my menu since people aren't able to go out and shop or go to restaurants. I try to really accommodate all their needs. And in terms of items being difficult to get, flour has been really difficult for me, but fortunately I'm able to keep my shelf stocked, yeast and dry beans and pasta. But I said, fortunately I have a source, so I've been able to keep my shelf stocked throughout this whole pandemic.
I just had a follow-up. Are you going to be serving, going back to the vegetarian items, any Beyond Meat products?
I haven't looked into that yet, Michelle. I don't know. I think I have a supplier that actually was talking with me 3 days ago about that. So I'm gonna look into that and see how that crosses over with Italian.
What is your favorite sandwich?
My favorite, I have 2 favorite sandwiches. Meatball is my first favorite, and my second favorite is turkey breast. I like turkey breast with Havarti cheese and tomatoes and lettuce. That's, I think, my all-time favorite.
What is in your special sauce that is on your sandwich?
Oh, that's a secret. I can't tell you what's in my special sauce, but it's ground tomatoes. We put olive oil that I make, by the way. I have olive ranches, so I make my own olive oil. And then some special seasonings and a little vinegar. But I can't tell you the seasoning because then it'll give away the secret.
Do you deliver or do you do curbside pickup?
So I've been doing both. I have a friend of mine that has offered his services for delivery. So a lot of times customers will call up and they can't get out of the house or they don't feel comfortable leaving their house. So I call my friend up and he'll come in and deliver, as well as I do curbside service. People call up, give me their orders, and then call me when they're out front or out back, and I bring the merchandise out to them.
What are your store hours?
So we're closed on Tuesdays. Monday through Saturday, we're open from 7 to 7, and Sunday we're open from 7 to 4.
Wow. Have they changed during the coronavirus?
They have not. They stayed the same. But I get here at 4 o'clock every morning, so as soon as I come in, I open the doors up, and you'll be surprised how many customers start coming in between 5, 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. So I think the only difference with the hours is people started coming a whole lot earlier through this whole pandemic.
Right, right. Shawn, you're next.
What has been your biggest challenge during this pandemic? As a store owner, how have you overcome it?
So I think my biggest challenge is, well, there's a few really big challenges. One is to keep my employees and my customers safe. I think that is the most important thing to me as a business owner. Outside of that is trying to keep my shelf stock, trying to keep products on hand that are relevant, that customers are looking for. And the way I do that is I have some direct distributors that I deal with where we bring in a lot of food direct. So fortunately, I had a lot of the products that I carry here already in the warehouse. So I was able to maintain that sort of supply chain and keep my shelf stocked at all times. But I think the biggest thing is keeping my customers safe and keeping my employees safe.
Okay, so we're going to shift gears to talk about backpacks, your work with Backpacks for Kids. And that's a nonprofit that was started about 6 years ago that helps feed kids from lower income families over the weekend when they're not getting their meals at school. And the first question is going to be coming from Lilybet.
Is Backpack for Kids going into the summer?
Yes, actually this year it is going into the summer, which they were worried for a while, but fortunately through the efforts that we've been doing in collecting donations and some outstanding resources that Backpacks have, we're able to go through the summer this year.
Great. Shawn?
What got you interested in helping with Backpacks for Kids?
So I've been a long time supporter of Backpacks for Kids. Actually, I'm a long time supporter of anything that really helps with our schools and our children. To me, our children those are our young adults that are going to carry on the torch, so to speak, and be the future. So anything I can do to help out and provide service and assistance. I first got involved with Backpacks with a dear friend of mine, Jamie Wallace, and her husband. They got me interested in it. I started volunteering with my girlfriend, Kim, and we started doing it, and I loved it. I loved the feeling of giving back and helping out, and I just expanded from there.
Can people food too, or only money?
So they do both, actually. You can donate food or you can donate money. I think money works a little bit better. They're able to buy the essential items. And sometimes in terms of the food donation, what they'll do is they'll have donation centers outside of pavilions. They have a shopping list of items that one can purchase. You can go inside pavilions, purchase the items, and then come outside and donate it to Backpacks for Kids program.
Can kids volunteer too?
I'm not sure. I think you would have to have your parents' consent, but I know during the food drive at pavilions, there were several children out there, several kids out there volunteering. So yes, just as long as you get mom or dad's consent.
Are certain food items not accepted?
They are not accepted. Just canned goods or boxed items. Nothing in glass. No perishable items. No meats. No frozen things like that.
How many kids are being helped every week?
So we have currently 300 families. And some of those families are multi-children family. They have 2, 3, 4, 5 children. I don't know the exact number count of children, but I know we have 300 and a little over 300 families that we're assisting.
Can you tell us about your weekly Thursday fundraiser and how much longer you will be doing it?
My fundraiser, you said, for Backpacks?
Yeah, your Thursday fundraiser.
Okay, so I'm going into my 7th week. I'm going to do it as long as I feel there's a need and people really want and need that sort of service. I started doing it because I know there was sort of a disconnect. People didn't have hot meals, or they were paycheck insecure. There was that source of income died off for them, and they needed, in my opinion, they needed a hot meal. They needed something comforting, and to me, this was a great way to do that. So as long as I can possibly do it, and as long as I feel there's a need for it, I'll continue doing it. And including yesterday's event, which we served 575 meals. So in the 7 weeks that we've been doing it, 6 weeks, we served almost 3,000 meals to families. So I think that's a great accomplishment right there.
Yeah. Why are you so generous?
I learned that from my parents. You know, my mom and dad. In growing up, I saw them being as generous as I am, and I saw the joy that it brought to them. And at the time, I didn't realize it, but there is something special for me, at least, in giving. You know, I've been fortunate enough to have this successful business here, and the community supports me so well. So for me, it's what better way to give back to my community than to give and give selflessly. I'd like to invite all my reporters here to come on down to the store, and I'll get you one of whatever your favorite item might be. But I really appreciate this time and the interview and the thoughtful questions. And like I said, I'll be in this city and supporting and being as helpful as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can.